So I was watching the Jimmy Dore show, and a professor from Iran, who's been well known, speaks better English than I do, is given the truth of some of the things that are going on over there that you're not going to see on mainstream, news. I don't know how many girls this is, 160 some odd. It was an all-girls school between the ages of 7 and 12. Little girls, little babies. They bombed that school on purpose because it's a school. It's a private school. They're bombing. They're targeting civilian private hospitals, and they're claiming it's U.S. pilots doing this along with Israeli pilots. All war is immoral. All murder is immoral. Back in 1776, colonizers from Europe here won their freedom from Europe, and this turned into a country. And our forefathers had a little bit of foresight to write a constitution. As I start looking at different things, sometimes we can throw hiccups in people's plans, hiccups in beings' plans. I think that was a hiccup. So now we fast forward into, the early 20th century. And there's ongoing trouble in the Middle East. I'm not going to give an exact history lesson, but we have World War One. We go into the Balfour Accords. We have a Great Depression over here. Then Nazism and Hitler, who was known for wanting to find things of the occult to use to his advantage. It was weird because, 19 million Jews were murdered. 5 or 6 million of them actually marched into fucking ovens. Real Hebrew-blooded, cousin bloods to the Palestinians, the Assyrians, Mesopotamians. World War II takes place. America kind of wins that and starts to turn into a superpower. We get a bunch of scientists from Germany who was about to take over the world. And then, for the rest of the 20th century, did our technology just take off fast in this country. It took off fast. Very technologically sound. Now they're letting us know there's extraterrestrials. The concept and idea that America was for freedom, I don't think it's something that they wanted. I think we kind of threw a monkey wrench into their plans when we won our freedom in 1776. They're murdering children. Now, purposely targeting civilian populace. What would be the reasoning? What's the strategic reasoning behind that other than creating rage? That's all it does. What were those 160 some odd 7 to 12-year-old girls going to do? Maybe reproduce when they get older as mothers of the earth? This couldn't possibly be a population call that's going on from forces that are above human. And leaders of the world are leaders. My bad. Rulers of the world are just following their marching orders, and they don't really give a shit about us, the citizens of the world. Population call, and then everything that's going on is also later on going to turn into a population control agenda where they decide who can do what. And we're going to have, remember, I'm a I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a coincidental theorist. I used to call myself a conspiracy analyst, but that doesn't quite make the cut. I'm a coincidental theorist. I think we got some serious coincidences coming up pretty soon. We've got a military-industrial complex of the entire world that's up in arms, fighting one another. I wonder if we'll have to fight an alien invasion, galvanizing a one-world government. What's really pulling the strings behind all this evil? It is pure evil in its purest form. It's not like I'm the best human being in the world. I definitely am not. I'm imperfect. I've made all kinds of fucking mistakes. The one thing I never have done is initiate the harm to another human being, or stood by without saying or doing something when harm to another human being was being done. I would petition anyone, including the God Most High, to ask why. A lot of New Agers like to say, God is source consciousness experiencing itself through us fragments of its consciousness. Therefore, we are all God, because we have a fragmentation of the divine within us. This is why Jesus said to look within and not without, that the kingdom of heaven is within. If you look to the sky, the birds will be there first. If you look to the water, the fish will be there first, right? But God Most High, if God Most High is learning through our experiences, what are you learning from this? The murder of children, their souls, fragmentations of you, God Most High. What is being learned? That's my question to the New Agey people. Everyone needs to quit pretending like they absolutely 100% know who God is or what God is. And God's not some giant, invisible, or glowing man with a beard in the desert sky. That would be an Anunnaki or one of the extraterrestrials that made us. Start looking at history. Prayers to these children and their families and all the innocent people that are being murdered for greed, ego, and cowardice. Because you won't stand, I'll talk in a certain way. Cowardice. Because you won't stand up to your masters. Puppeticians, rulers. You're not leaders. All of you can go fuck yourselves. With that said, nothing but love and prayers for the innocent people, the innocent children who are losing their lives. There's no other reason to do this but to create outrage, to create more violence. It's what they want. They want maximum violence, maximum blood, maximum damage. The world needs to unite and deny them this. Only love and discernment will drive out hate and fear. And they're creating a lot of hate and fear with their actions. Yeah, I got questions. I want to know who and what is behind this, because it's not humans. Humans are too lazy. Even the most fucking greedy, narcissistic, sociopathic, psycho, demented ones. Anyway, remember, violence isn't the answer. Let's start speaking up. I think good people should never take the use of defensive force off the table to protect themselves. How are we going to feel when we start getting hit with drones and our schools start getting hit and our hospitals start getting hit? They've done everything they can do to divide this country by red and blue, donkey and elephant, man and woman, gay and straight, black and white. We all bleed red. We're all human beings. I do believe we got the spark of the divine within us. I do like to believe that God experiences itself through the creations it's created. I just don't know what God is learning through the murder of children. But all human beings have free will. Maybe we should start trying to use it. Use your free will. If you're an order follower, don't follow immoral orders. It's immoral to bomb anything. It's immoral to murder. I would like to get just a small stadium and put all the rulers, I didn't say teachers or leaders, rulers of the world into the stadium. And there's no, let them all just stay in there and figure things out themselves. How many would that be worldwide? Several hundred, 1,000 maybe, tops worldwide. Let them figure it out. Regular human beings, regular people who are in schools and private hospitals and working 9-to-5 jobs. Just want to live their lives. How hard is it to understand that murder is wrong? Okay? It's wrong. You're not killing children in self-defense. That's called murder. It's not an accident with our precision technology. I'm not going to buy that. Sorry. No one will. I think it's time to let the haze lift off of your hearts. Anyone listening to this. Shake it off, shake it out, and start looking at what is objectively morally right and correct and what is objectively morally wrong and not correct. Your heart knows the way. Your heart knows. Unless you're one of these beings that doesn't have a heart. That's why I'm going to say nothing but prayers for these kids and humanity. Till next time, stay safe.